If you eat Kraft mac and cheese, Florida oranges, instant ramen, or any of these 36 foods that RFK Jr. recently banned, you're going to want to pay close attention to this video. RFK is banning 36 popular foods, and many of these have already been banned in many other parts of the world. I'll be sharing these 36 foods RFK Jr. recently banned and the foods that will be banned in the future. This is the change we need that will start the process of changing our entire food system for the better. Secretary of Health and Human Services RFK Jr. recently launched a campaign called Make America Healthy Again. Synthetic foods, petroleum food-based dyes are first things on the list to be banned and are already banned in many parts of the world. RFK is doing the heavy lifting and standing up for Americans' health and banning these toxic chemicals that are still in our food supply. I help people with weight loss, with clean eating and strength training, and we need clean foods. It's getting harder and harder for me to help people lose weight. Here are 9 petroleum-based additives officially banned or under immediate action to be banned. Red dye, number 3, citrus red, orange B, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1, blue 2, and blue 3. These petroleum-based dyes were already banned in other countries because of behavioral issues in children, including ADHD, for potential carcinogenic effects linked to thyroid and tumors, DNA damage, and hormone disruptions. Here are some of the foods you can find them in. Starting with red 3 and red 40. Strawberry and cherry Pop-Tarts, fruit roll-ups, Gatorade, Jell-O, Skittles, Lucky Charms, Morocco cherries. Next we have yellow 5 and yellow 6 foods, which you can find in mac and cheese, Mountain Dew, fruit roll-ups, Cheerios, Doritos, Twinkies, and instant ramen seasoning. Here's what you can find in blue 1 and blue 2. Kool-Aid, Ice Pops, Ring Pops, Gatorade Frost flavor, and blue M&Ms. For green 3, mint green gum, lime Jell-O, green popsicle sticks, frosted cookies, and cupcakes. Citrus red number 2 can be found in the pills for the coloring of Florida oranges. So you could be shopping in the fresh section and get some of these petroleum-based dyes. These are horrible food products. RFK Jr. says if they want petroleum in their foods, they should add it themselves when they get home. The petroleum-based dyes affect ADD, ADHD. I grew up with ADHD, and I've had done lots of research on it and had lots of issues from it. I definitely avoid dyes, and they're definitely on the conscious for me, and definitely focus on getting a lot of vitamins and minerals in my diet. Another thing I do for the ADHD, because it's a hyperattention deficit disorder, is I put a lot of energy into edifying others. And so I highly recommend that if you deal with any ADHD, find a really good cause to channel that energy into, and you'll totally rock it and make a difference in somebody else's life. We really need the work that RFK Jr. is doing and the MAHA movement. So I'm going to be dancing in my pants to see all my clients and many people across the world having more balance in their fat loss and health. Here's the next group of additives targeted to be banned is titanium dioxide, which can be found in skim milk, Titan gum, frosted donuts, coffee creamers, store-bought salads, and dressings. These have already been banned in most of Europe and across the world for DNA damage. And if you want a link to any referrals to these reports, you can find them in the description below. The next one is Brominated Vegetable Oils, BVOs. These can be found in Mountain Dew, Fanta Citrus, older Gatorade formulas, and citrus fresca. And these have already been banned in other countries as well, linking to thyroid disruption and neurological issues. The next one on the list is potassium brominate. This can be found in store-bought pizza dough and bagels. And it's already been banned in Europe, Canada, and Brazil for the risk of cancer. Next on the list is propylene carbonate. This can be found in tortillas, low-fat snacks, and cakes. This chemical has never been allowed in many other countries. The next one on the list to be banned in the US is glyphosate Roundup. And this has already been banned in many parts of the world. And this can be found sprayed on oats, soy, and even your morning coffee. It's been banned in most countries of the world for its risk in cancer. In one of my next videos, I'm going to go through a whole slew of foods that are already banned across the world that are still okay here in the United States. And these are probably the same foods we want to advocate to be banned in the US. Two very interesting things on that list is US apples and US papayas. So like and subscribe if you want to know more about the banned foods or clean eating. You can check out my master clean eating guide. It's free in the front of the YouTube. I've got tons of videos under there on all the many different subjects involved in mastering clean foods, what clean foods are, and it's completely free. I've been working with people with weight loss for over 28 years on clean eating and strength training. You can see all my covers in the back and all my trophies. I ran a 7:30-minute mile in Japan on that poster and stood next to Mizuki Noguchi, who won the 2008 Olympic Marathon. So I have a lot of experience. I have people that travel all through Europe and eat pizza and drink wine, and they still lose weight. But when they eat pizza and drink wine in the United States, they don't. They gain weight every single time. We need clean foods. Part of my mission is to edify people in the clean foods. So if you want to be edified in clean eating and the power of strength training, you're going to want to subscribe to my channel. I have people all over the United States and in Europe participating in my program, and we're transforming tons of bodies. Next thing on the list is high fructose corn syrup. This is one of the leading things for mitochondrial dysfunction, poisoning your cells, and just making it hard to get the fat off and create balance. The high fructose corn syrup can be linked to ADHD, ADD, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, immune disorders, thyroid problems. High fructose corn syrup overloads the liver and leads to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease in kids. So kids are getting non-alcoholic liver disease and they're not drinking alcohol. And we can find this at the grocery store. Does this mean that we can get non-alcoholic liver disease from food? You can find high fructose corn syrup in sodas, barbecue sauces, ketchup, candy, snack cakes, and many other foods. Okay, so the next set of processed foods under review is the 8 seed oils to avoid. And those are corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, sunflower seed oil, soybean oil, sapphire oil, rice bran oil, and grapeseed oil. These can be found in chips, crackers, salad dressings, and everything fried. These 8 oils to avoid are in 80% of our food supply. Yes, 80%. So be on the lookout in the ingredients. Here are some good replacements if you're at a restaurant or if you're shopping anywhere. Avocado oil, olive oil, beef tallow, butter, ghee, coconut oil, even lard or duck fat is way better than these 8 oils. These oils actually have a carcinogenic effect. There was one study comparing a French fry fried in these oils and the carcinogenic effects to a cigarette. Are French fries equal to cigarettes now? Here are some great apps that you can use to help you sort through the restaurants and the shopping. Seed Oil Scout is one of my favorites, and Yucca is the other one. Next on the list is ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods include snacks and sweets, chips and savory snacks, beverages, breakfast foods, fast foods, ready-to-eat meals, breads and bakery products, meats and imitation products, condiment sauces, and a whole swing of children's products. Many of these ultra-processed foods have been banned in many other parts of the world for several reasons. The health concerns include links to obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, certain cancers. The nutritional quality of these foods is often high in sugar also, unhealthy fats, sodium, while very low in essential nutrients. RFK calls sugar poison, and I believe that's true. The bread aisle in the grocery store has one of the biggest facades if you're just using your eyes. If you look down this massive bread aisle, all you see is this huge variety of all these different products. But the only thing your body responds to is the chemicals that's in them. It doesn't respond to the packaging that the bread is in. Most of them have gluten or hybridized wheats, B of O's, and whatever chemicals that's allowed in that country at the time. I've linked below a column where I quoted Dr. Bull, which is a Loma Linda doctor, that went into his gut health talk. What he stated is that all medical practices agree that all disease starts in the colon. And then he went in and he started talking about all the changes that we've had to our food industry. And the first one starts with bread. Most people don't know this, that bread used to be protein-based, but in 1885 it changed to a carbohydrate. Right now they have a waiver to get junk and sugary drinks out of our government programs like SNAP and other school programs. Sugar is 8 times more powerful than any other food on the tongue. The SNAP program goes to low-income people who deserve real food, not food that could set them up to be one of the 1 in 3 kids with diabetes. Yes, I said 1 in 3 kids right now have diabetes. And please check out the video in the description of RFK going through all the health statistics of our nation. Diabetic pills can be very expensive. I heard a story of somebody paying up to $1,000 a month for their diabetic pills. That's expensive for a poor person. Not only do they have to deal with this health issue and the expenses around that, but they have to spend all that money on a pill. This costs life and money. Nobody can afford the disease that comes later, whether you're poor or rich. Medical cost is one of the top reasons for bankruptcy, and one of the reasons why medical treatments are just so darn expensive. The United States is one of the wealthiest countries in the world and ranks 37 in health among the civilized world. We really all deserve better food. We spend $4.6 trillion a year on healthcare. That's more than most countries make in a GDP. And we rank the lowest in the civilized world for health. We spend $1.8 trillion on chronic disease just in kids. And to learn that 1 in 3 are considered obese or overweight or have diabetes, 74% of our youth can't even qualify to join the military if they wanted to. And these are all 100% preventable through lifestyle. And clean eating and strength training is one of the best things for this. Here's a little side note if you are diabetic. Strength training is one of your biggest tools, whether you clean up your food or not. Muscles burn up the sugar. So if you start working your muscles, the muscles will burn up the sugar before it gets to the organs. Little tip in there. So if you want to get on a regular strength training program 2 to 3 times per week, those muscles are going to work for you, sucking up the sugar. So say bye-bye to sugar and junk food in the SNAP program. Something has to change, and I'm so excited. Thank you, RFK Jr., and thank you to the Maha movement. If RFK Jr. and the Maha movement make the change happen, I'm all for it. We all should support this. It supports life in all humans. This is maintenance of life, quality of life, longevity of life, and it saves money. There is a natural system set up on this earth for life. The sun, the soil, and everything else. We need to protect what is natural with the earth, with the sun, with the soils, put vitamins and minerals in our foods and deliver it to our bodies so that they can be optimized. I'm in firm belief, and I fully believe that God knew exactly what he was doing when he created one ingredient foods. Job 40:16. The strength of a man is in his gut. Exodus 15:26. No dis-ease will I place on those who listen. And what did Dr. Bull say? Dr. Bull said, all dis-ease starts in the colon, the gut. Now let's get into some more solutions that you can do right at home. The biggest solution is clean eating. And the next one after that, I would say moving. So if you need more help and more education in understanding clean eating, click on my Master Clean Eating Guide. It's totally free. There's lots of hours of content in there just to get you up to par to start understanding more about clean eating or different tips on how to master it. Because that's all I've done for 28 years is help people master clean eating. If you need more personal help, I have my Metabolism Masterclass that you can sign up at karlaadams.com. I have people all over the United States and in Europe participating in my program, and we're transforming tons of bodies. Every week I have live strength training classes where I get super in depth on the isolation and form for injury prevention and results, as well as I have my live metabolism masterclass. And there's Q&A. I have hundreds of people that I'm working with on custom programs and helping them master their own body. I have clients in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s in my live strength training courses, learning excellent form and isolation and really optimizing their muscular system. You can do everything from at home with just dumbbells, and dumbbells is an extremely powerful way to transform the body, or at the gym. I have people that are competing. I have my next competition coming up. I have about 5 women in their 40s and 50s preparing for their first show. You don't have to do a show. Most of my clients are just trying to do strength training to optimize their metabolism. But there's a lot you can do just from your own home with a very good set of dumbbells. And it doesn't have to be as extensive as mine. I would say those are the best things to combat any of the effects from the processed foods, is just removing the processed food by clean eating and then just moving. Get active, get those muscles working for you. 7 out of 8 Americans have at least one metabolic issue that affects fat loss or some other thing in their body. And there's a lot of confusion out there on what to eat and what to start learning about. There's all these programs out there that blame the carb, blame the fat, blame the protein, and they put this religion-like effect on what you should be doing with your food. I never recommend taking a religion effect with your food and just doing a blanket, because there's usually some sort of an imbalance that comes out more. I really recommend learning more about you and what your own personal formula is. All humans are meant to eat proteins, carbs, and fats. Those are the macronutrients. The micronutrients are vitamins, minerals, digestive enzymes, phytonutrients, and antioxidants. Okay, so that's what we need to maintain life. We need all of these things to maintain life. So I highly recommend that you learn what ratio of those you should do for you and what movement to get involved with, because we're meant to move. We're meant to eat. We're meant to move. We're meant to think. We're meant to do. We're meant to create. The most advanced piece of technology on this earth is the human body. We were like gifted this amazing Ferrari at birth, but we got taught to put processed food in it for some reason. But if we learn what ratio of proteins, carbs, and fats we need, It's a whole different game, and everybody is different, 100%. My masterclass can actually help you identify some of these things and identify what's different in people, and you can actually ask questions and find out stuff that might be more personal to you. I would definitely like and subscribe to the channel and check out some of my videos. So here's a fun game that I have for you now. I've never had anybody answer this question correctly. I want to know what you think the definition of metabolism means. So in 28 years, I've never had somebody answer this correctly. Put it in the chat below. I'm going to come up with some sort of a prize for the person. If anybody gets this right, I'm going to come up with some sort of fun prize. So put it below. But I want to know what you think the definition of metabolism is. Most people think that metabolism is weight loss, and it's not. Weight loss is not metabolism. Weight loss is definitely something your body does, and your body definitely has a metabolism, but they're not each other. I also want to know what you think about carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. I want to know if you think a carb, a protein, or a fat is bad for you. I've seen so many YouTube videos, especially on the carbohydrates, but you see it on the fats and the proteins too, blaming them and just like demonizing them like it's some religion to blame the carb, protein, or the fat. But we need all of these nutrients for maintenance of life. We need to start looking, we need to start rightly dividing the information and looking at the information more analytically. We need proteins, carbs, and fats, but we do not need processed foods. Processed food is an option. So we need to stop blaming the proteins, carbs, and fats and start opening our eyes up to the processed foods. And the Maha movement is one of the most powerful ways to open up a lot of people's eyes on this processed foods, or at least the start. So here's another little piece of homework that I have for you. I want you to start paying attention to the science that you're following, okay? And this is not going to come up right away, but I want you to keep asking yourself this question as you go along, because something can be right, or you might have something that has correct information into it, but as you get down, you can actually find that something is off, okay? I believe there are two different types of sciences out there. One is the science that are solving problems and edifying humanity, okay? The second is science that's making money. And these are not black and white answers at all whatsoever, and that's actually what makes it confusing. This is actually what can make it confusing. And that's why that's why understanding your own custom formula becomes the real solution. But it's up to you to figure out which one you're following, and it's up to you to figure out what your actual formula is. This is what I help people with in lifestyle programs. I'm a lifestyle specialist. And that's all I've done for 28 years, is not just spend time in mastering the cleaning and the exercise, but really understanding all the different things that are involved in creating the balance. Another thing, just removing a protein, carb, or a fat just as a religion can also increase your risk of injury or increase your risk of binge eating. And it's way worse if you're exercising. I've seen huge trends of this increasingly over the past 28 years. And I completely believe in fasting. I teach people about fasting. There's a lot of the trends out there that there's value in them, but they a lot of times have imbalances when they become religious. This is the most advanced piece of technology on this earth. Learn about it. It's gonna actually bring you so many wonderful gifts. So don't forget to like and subscribe and eat clean and exercise today. See you in the next video. Bye.